Welcome to Isis in the Bible, the Spring Gathering, week number 2. Glad you could join us this Wednesday as we gather under the invisible breath of Sophia. Sophia means to blow in Italian, to give a stream of breath. So Sophia, the embodiment of divine wisdom, whose spiral breath turns the sacred geometry of the universe in motion. As she whispers into the Fibonacci pinwheel, we are asked, can you take apart the word Sophia and tell me what you see? Chris saw phi, the Greek letter for phi, which makes the Fibonacci spiral, the golden ratio, the hologram, and the so, a phi, and and tell me what you see. So the SEA. So this gathering is not a lesson, but a remembering, a mirror into the self through sacred sound, symbolism, and the living field in which we call God. So glad you could join us today. So I'm going to share what I see, because it's very similar to what Chris sees. The S is a vibration. It's the snake. It's the waves we leave behind. The O is the omega. The A is the alpha. And then PHI, which we can show as phi. We can split these apart even further, but I'm going to leave that alone for right now. So you got the vibrations of the alpha and the omega. I am the alpha and I am the omega, and I am phi. And phi is that golden ratio of 1:1.618, blah, blah, blah. Forget about the math. But when you look at these triangles, they're self-similar and they completely always go in, which gives us our holographic universe, which brings you in the now of many of your past nows all at the same time. So what's happening in the sky? Well, what happened to you on Monday, the true Easter? We would love to hear your experiences in the chat. Angela really played out on, she felt the sun and the wind, and we'll talk about that a little bit. On Easter, Monday, the true Easter, where the mother, Sophia, is another word for Isis, Mary, Mektecoatl, what you have you, she aligned with the sun on that day. So that's the mother, which is the breath and the sun. And Angela said she felt, really divinely, she felt the sun on her, and then the breeze, the wind, and that's the wind of Sophia, the ether, that things what keeps everything in manifest. So mine was really divine. I'll explain mine. I was guided to be at Maryvale, which I'm at right now, Maryvale here in Windsor, Unity Windsor, and ended up doing a 5-step forgiveness process with a sister, because she couldn't come and walk through these areas her whole childhood, and including now because of energies she felt. So together we both did the 5-step forgiveness to each other and to everybody and anybody that's ever walked this area. And we just so happened then go walk into the chapel and sit on the chairs sitting there where we have our divine conversations. And then I noticed that we sit down, I looked at the time, it was exactly the alignment of Mary and the sun. So that's a reunion of Mary, aka Sophia, and the sun, exactly at that time. So if you notice the wind pickup yesterday and the day before, right after that alignment, we had a nice, big, beautiful, warm day when the mother went with the sun, and then she's blowing the sun around the zodiac because she's the one that gives life to all things. So for what's happening in the sky really quickly, just have a look what's going on in Pisces. Remember, we're getting rid of all the Piscean waters. And look, you got Icarus, your wings, Neptune, pure energy, Mercury, the Akashic records, the North Node, the moon at her feet, aligned with Saturn, Father Time, and then also Venus. And Ceres is making her way in from Aquarius, your own personal Grim Reaper. So these are trying to get rid of all those Piscean age waters. Mary is cleaning your feet, the Pisces feet. That's what's on the Egyptian walls which on the Baptist, pouring water over the fish, over the Piscean age, onto those that are in karmic bondage. So this is happening in the sky, folks. So just pay attention to the signs you're getting every single day. So thanks to Unity teacher Mariette Jones for the inspiration last Sunday at Unity of Windsor, because she, Mariette Jones, unconsciously she embodied the spirit of Sophia as she did this day before, the true Easter. So because Sunday was the day before, and she spoke about Sophia that day, and that's what made me bring this as our topic today. Because Sophia, Isis, Eris, Madonna, the divine feminine, spoke through her body. Her face lit up like a little child when I told her that Sophia spoke through you, her breath. It's beautiful, it really is. So she sent this beautiful article right here, the resurrection of Sophia Christ. So that's why we're going to talk about Sophia being the breath of the living God. She is that which moves the God process. In Book of Wisdom, chapter 7, verse 24, she moves more swiftly than motion itself. She pervades and permeates all loving things. That's pure love, the ether, Isis, Eris, Mary. That's the ether, that's pure love. So Sophia is not an idea, she is the spirit, the ether, the unseen breath that enlivens. In Hebrew, it's ruach, breath. She is the invisible, intelligent springboard that animates the cosmos. She is the feminine mystery, the pure potential, the ether, the unmanifest. So the triple word revealed. We have to understand, if you want to understand the divine nature, this is Phi. This is the golden ratio triangle that builds upon Phi. All right? There's three things that we have to understand. There's manifest or earth, the hidden axle or the union, and the disembodied, the unseen, which is pure love. This comes from Ken Wheeler's Secret of the Triple Word, long lost but recovered. So the essence is nature, the logos or ratio, and the mind, which is matter, water, and spirit, which is emanation, God, the absolute is conscience, and the mother of God, the breath of God. The ancients knew reality was not dual, but trinal. Ken Wheeler revives this truth in his sharing of wisdom, including his recent Substack article. God is the golden ratio, the process of perfection. Sophia is the infinite breath, the field of possibility. Creation is the flowering of their embrace. So it's really important to understand that these three things are the foundation of metaphysics, equal to physics. God, you remember the G-O-D, is the process, because man created the word God, which is the two spirals, which the breath moves. You'll see that all the ancients understood this. Here is a depiction of what holds up these manifesting wheels. It's the point in the middle. The divine feminine holds everything up. And then there's a masculine once we reach embodiment. So the masculine means us, any one of them, whether it's male or female, in that God form, the field. So you can see when you look at this, the first numbers of the Fibonacci spiral are 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, so on and so forth, right? So there is the 1 with the 1, the 2, and the 3. And this is every field. This means you now can see us because we're in illumination. We're in the divine. And you can see that this was carried all over in many different cultures. There again, here's the woman holding up the wheels of God because she's the breath of God. We all have the divine feminine within us. And then that whole process you can see happening under a magnet, under a ferrocell. So every atom, every field, every body is that. We are from the breath of Sophia. So the water, the hidden architect of the cosmos, or God. Chapter 7, verse 25, she is the light that shines forth from everlasting light. The everlasting light is that what you can't see. It's pure love. It's the ether. So you can see that even in the nautilus shell anywhere, there's a black hole, there's a hole where there's nothing. It's the breath. She provides the breath, and that's why there's always the ancient hub of the wheel, because the immovable shaft is where the breath comes from. The wheel all can't spin unless there is a shaft that doesn't move. So the unmovement is the pure love, where everything is still. So when we meditate, when we go in stillness and we absorb and exude love, you connect with it more and more. That's what the 5-step forgiveness process does for us. It centers us so that we can only feel the love. So water is not H2O. It is the symbol of logos, the bridge between spirit and flesh. It's like the antenna of the radio. That's what water does. When you water the plants, the memory, the consciousness of that plant is in the water. And that's what makes it the seed pop out, because the remembrance. And Sophia, love, makes everything manifest for us to live in harmony with. So it flows perfectly in golden spirals, that which we call God, the phi-coded symmetry, always uniting what seems apart. The water equals logos equals God as a union in process. It is the hidden axle upon which the wheel is being turned. That's Sophia. 1 is to phi as phi is to 1 is the divine harmony. God is not a man in the sky. God is the process through which all things come from and return to 1. But God is powered by Sophia, the breath of love. So Sophia and Isis, the feminine ether, remembered. From Isis to Sophia, the feminine spirit was once revered, then hidden. Isis, the keeper of the throne, the restorer of Osiris, which is God, the sun. Manifestation, people don't like it's an emanation. The word man is still there, but man has still got the mother and the alpha. So Sophia is the animating spirit, the mirror of divine goodness. Same spirit, different tongues, one breath. She is the ether that moves through all, unseen but felt. She is the mother of form, the mother of God. God is form. She is the unformed. She is the pure stillness, the pure potential, the black, the whisper behind the veil. We are the resurrection of Sophia as gods, as Psalm 82:6 says, right? And it begins in the heart. So Sophia goes by many names: Isis, Persephone, Eris, Freya, White Buffalo Calf Woman, Albarak, Madurga, Madonna, Mektakowaddle, Ereshkigal, Kali, Wan Yin. Why does every culture share this one that is the breath of God? Because we got to remember that it's the feminine is that what drives the masculine, and the masculine is divinely guided by God, that process, that perfection. So you are the God water from Sophia. This is not about mythology. It's you. It is remembering who you are, matter, enlivened by spirit, united by water, the logos. You need those three things: matter, spirit, so us and the mother, but the water is the antenna that makes us grow. And what is not water here? Everything is water, but that beautiful pure water, that one we get to cleanse with our loving vibrations, is important. So you are the wheel, the breath, and the spiral. You have it all in you. You have the mother's breath, the God divine, and then you, the matter. Sophia is your spirit. God flows from her. Emanate your being. You are the child of the spiral. You are the union of breath and form. You are the temple, and it's time to rise. So you're showing the breath from the thought of having baby into manifesting it as baby. You are all three, but always know that we are divinely tethered to that pure breath, that pure love. Did I jump over this one? No, I did it from the beginning. I just wanted to show you how when she blows, she creates these spirals. And you can see the word God there, right? So it's her that makes things spiral. that makes us an emanation. That's where you see the face of God. But she's the mother that blows through the hole. The mother of God. Remember, God is not a man in the sky. It's us here and now, forever. So I wanted to share this about the book of Jeremiah. When you read the book of Jeremiah, I cross this out because I use the AI to go through the Hebrew from the Tanakh to make how it should have been. So it says, my people are fools, they do not know me. Think about Sophia, okay? They don't know me. They are senseless children, they have no understanding, they are skilled at doing evil, they know not how to do good. I looked at the earth, and it was formless and empty, and in the heavens, and their light was gone. So in other words, she's saying, I can't see your love shining through. I looked at the mountains, and they were quaking, and the hills were all swaying. I looked at, and there were no people, every bird in the sky had flown away. I looked, and the fruitful land was a desert, and all its town lay in ruins. Before the Lord, remember Lord means divine feminine, before her loving cleanse. I changed this from his to her, because that's what it is. So this Jeremiah is really about, I am the temple that's shaking, because she's blowing her love, trying to exude out of me from the inside of every atom. She's the breath of love. So I am the temple that's shaking, the mountains that are shaking, because she's shaking my mountain. I am the mountain, I am the temple. I am the sky turning inward and the mountains that trembles. It's me. Not to fall, but to be reborn. I rise with the phoenix. My crown is lit by the fire of Sophia, which is Isis. This is my East. I remember now this story was always about me, Sophia, and me as God, the mother and the mother of God. So every one of us is that. So when we read the Bible, we got to really understand what it's saying. And when you go back to the Tanakh and see how words were mistranslated, it's all about you. Where did Tanakh come from? The Egyptian walls. And the Egyptian walls, there's not about kings and queens. It's you in those certain parts of your journey, which now we're all being able to see. And that all comes from the breath of Sophia. So in this video, I'm going to share with you, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. And then that's it for the day. So this is only a few minutes long.
When the Ojibwe used this word, in Dinawe Makanatok, all of my relatives, we mean it literally. We are saying, I am all of my relatives. All of my actions will affect all of my relatives, and all of my relatives' actions affect me. Therefore, the I is not a priority. This is something notable about Indigenous spirituality. We rarely pray for ourselves. If we truly believe in something, we ask on behalf of all of our relatives, because whatever affects the I, me, myself, affects all the relatives.
Perfect. We have to define relative. Everything is relative. And that's for that golden spiral that we call God, the face of God, because it's every field, it's every living being. So our relatives are every living being. It's not just man and woman. So that's why we have to hold sacred space for every living being, because they are our soul guides, but they are also us, and I'm going to keep saying it over and over again, they are us in between incarnations as humans. We go and be part of. It'll seem like no time at all. It could be 50 years where we've left the visible, and when we return, we are all becoming these in the meantime. That's where the theory of evolution comes from, but it's not evolving. It's that we have a home to go to all the time, and in between our embodiments, we are the insects, the animals, the birds, the reptiles. So that's why relative is really important, and we have to honor all living beings. We really, truly do. And that's all we have for today.